Welcome once again, everyone. Thank you, Karthikeyan sir, for traveling all the way from Delhi for this conference and supporting this whole meditation, project meditation. That we understand that there is huge transformation in everyone who takes onto meditation, which simply makes one from matter to energy. And my journey is also like that. When I was working in the United States in the year 1990s, and my younger brother, medical doctor, used to call me and say, you practice meditation and you'll be successful. And I would say, meditation and success, where is the connection? And then I used to tell him to stop practicing because it's waste of time. And I was in 30 that time, he was even younger to me. But then only later I recognized, and then when I embraced meditation, that there is everything in it. You want health, health is there. You want success in business is there. Growth is there. Peace of mind is there. Helping others is there. Emotionally being, strong and stable is there. Sound mind is there. So everything is there in meditation as we researched and then found that there is so much scientific evidence that is corroborating now to say that meditation is working in all aspects of life. So first thing was that Dr. GK, who is here, he is my younger brother, he's a medical doctor. And then what he made sure was that I met Patriji, and he was practicing meditation as a medical student, and he was practicing meditation, and then he would tell me how effortless his exams have been because he had got this intuition. He knew exactly what chapters to read. He read through and then he sailed through his medical exams because meditation provides you insights, intuition. So very, very easy for him. He would say that you practice this and it's going to give you greater success because I was in corporate world, continuing to be there that time. And then so he made me meet Patriji, and then everything that I am and everything that Buddhase Quantum Foundation is with this Grand Master. The day we met, and then Patriji challenged and said, you may be living in the United States, you may be very successful doing many, many things on the computer side, because I was a computer engineer from Bispilani and I was doing a lot of things, and I thought I did a lot of things. And then when I met him, he said, leading the life you don't know. Maybe successful in material life, but their life itself, if not practicing meditation, you don't know. I did not understand the statement, but I definitely got deeply hurt because Patriji is a straight shooter, a master, a Zen master, would always just straight out tell because he wanted to, he said, I had very little time how to wake up every person on this planet because the meditation makes you divine. From human, you become divine. That's what he would say. So I practiced this for a few years. It took me some time before I got into it. 3 years I was dabbling with meditation here and there. But sometime in the 2002, I went deep into it. By then I was running my startup software company. And I went deep into it because it's very, very stressful, 18 hours work days. And then, typically IT means you're carrying with a laptop, then all the work is in your mind. It's not physical. So wherever you go, the work comes with you. And so I was like that. And so someday I just said, okay, let me try this. Because they are telling me the meditation is going to give you everything. So I'm going to start practicing meditation. And within 40 days after practicing, sometime like in about 2002, in about 2 months of practice of meditation, and that time, Patriji used to recommend many, many books by Eastern masters, Western masters. The beauty about that I've learned from Patriji is that it is the knowledge that liberates. Swami Vivekananda said, Bhagavad Gita says, everyone says it's knowledge leads to liberation. And then the knowledge has to be applied, and then meditation comes in great, builds so much awareness that we automatically apply the knowledge. Otherwise, knowledge just remains knowledge. We know that we have to be keeping our cool when we're speaking to someone says something, but we know that, but we can't implement it because awareness is missing. Our subconscious programs take over us from the past experience, but meditation puts that break and then gives us that awareness and say, wait a minute, you can do a little differently, you can do better. And so that is sufficient to build a great relationship, that is sufficient to help your business grow by taking right decisions rather than having a quick talk. And so the knowledge that Patriji was always encouraging to learn from everyone. He said there are infinite amount of knowledge there, so learn from everybody. And as I've taken, the reason I stuck to with him was that he was always encouraging to read from everyone. He was a scientific temperament. He said, yes, all the scriptures are there, but you want to understand in a way practically, then read many Western masters. He was not at all hesitating to recommend Western masters as much as Eastern masters. So I was reading a lot of books while we were recommending, and then practiced meditation for 2 months, and they did a few things to me immediately. That 18 hours of work became joy for me. I mean, literally, so you look for work every day. Earlier, okay, so my God, so much to do. Now you look for every day, you wake up and say, I want to go for work. I want to meet those people. People I thought the biased people with the managers were biased, and then my colleagues were not sharing information. That all changed. When your thoughts change, your vibration changes, people change. This is a simple sutra of energy science that none of us can believe. Because I used to read in the hallways, thoughts create reality. I said, thoughts create reality? How is that possible? But thoughts create reality, so thoughts attract things is a big manifestation science. And I just saw only a sutra on the wall, and cannot be believed because it's my people around me was causing all the problems. So how would I draw experience into my life? But only later, after experimenting, and I realized that when I did 2 months of meditation, then automatically a lot of my thoughts changed. A research is there from Harvard which says that most of the events are neutral by itself. It is the meaning they assign to an event makes us feel good or not good. The event itself is neutral, but then what meaning you're assigning makes you feel good or high, or makes you feel bad and low. If somebody did not invite me for a party, then suddenly what meaning am I giving? Oh, I'm ignored, so the life is, the next 2 weeks is gone. Whereas say, okay, fine, maybe they're busy, maybe they've forgotten. Oh, it's great, I don't need these parties. I mean, give me another half a day of extra time for me to, do something useful. If you give that meaning, then automatically your event is good. Meditation helps us to give right meaning. It helps us to assign right meaning to the events. And so then automatically, the research is again, 90% of our events are past driven. That means based on past we decide and then live our future based on 90% of the 90% events are past. And so then meditation helps us to look into the past and disengage the past. So many things happened for me, dear friends. With Patriji, and then I started. So my health improved significantly. I had some conditions which many experts in the United States, one was about backache, another is about my ears. They won't decongestion very well when you take a flight and come down. But then with meditation, 4 months later, something I was struggling for 6 years. That means every time I took a flight and then I come down, I used to have deep infection, a lot of pain in my ears, which is not going away. I had to go to doctors to take antibiotics. But this meditation that I started practicing 3-4 months later, I didn't find any of that at all after that. That means that issue is no longer there when I was taking flights. And it was very beautiful for me because I was compromising on my travel, which means I'm compromising on my career itself. Because if you are competitive in the world, then you want to travel to meet people. And so it helped me greatly that suddenly I started traveling back again. And without even knowing this simple practice of meditation, now we see that hundreds and hundreds of people of any kind of illness, we see them, people say things are going away, they're healing, in a week from onwards, right? And so then, as soon as I found these benefits, and of course, then later, I started applying these principles because you become very alert, positive in thinking. And so then applied these principles towards my business, attracting clients, doing those meetings, very successful meetings. Because you think positively when you walk into a meeting, suddenly then you are having a great outcome of the meeting. Because meditation makes you to be very alert and aware. So then Patriji said, I'm starting a project called Pyramid Valley International to build the biggest meditation pyramid in Bangalore. So I readily signed up. One of the things meditation is doing is to make us service-minded immediately. I said, okay, let me go there and then help serve. And so this beautiful pyramid that we built, and pyramids are storehouse of energy. So Patriji looked at this research of pyramids, and then so he encouraged people to build pyramids. And then this pyramid in Bangalore can host about 5,000 people at a time as a massive meditation hall, and a very secular structure. And so then every faith can go in and meditate. So that's what you notice here We're serving annually 300,000 people learn free meditation with food as never a barrier to them, so that they can actually practice. Just like how Karthikeans are talking about the Goenka movement, Patrizi always believed this too priceless and invaluable. And so then money should never come in the barrier. So then meditation is always taught free with him. That had a profound impact on me, that as we are building this up, many people come in and transform. And so the profound impact was this, that how can we take this into more and more senior people? And then how can we have this spread? Because Patrizi's work is all in rural India. In rural India, there isn't a village that is not covered in South India. He's literally, in his time, he covered and he went village to village and spread meditation to more than 60,000 villages by himself. So the thoughts were there that maybe we take this to leadership, and the leadership towards policy, leadership towards their applying it to the entire CSR work, they can give this meditation. So that's the time that as I was interacting with Karthikeyan sir, and then Karthikeyan sir, Patrizi used to call him spiritual ambassador of the world, that there isn't any movement that is not associated to the most closest level. And so then Karthikeyan sir, of course, has also been a very illuminary in terms of his career. And then I've seen him that, with ease, being able to meet people of all across all industry sectors, and then being able to converse and exchange information. So somewhere in one of the meditations, this is in a big pyramid near Hyderabad, that we're meditating, and then this vision was there. This is sometime in 2018-19 time frame. And then vision was there that we work with Karthikeyan sir in some way or the other, and then take this to leadership across the whole. And that's how Buddhasya Quantum Foundation, with Patrizi's inspiration, we started to bring this simple technology of meditation that we'll practice today. And then we're going to have 3 sessions, interspersed throughout the whole day, so that all of us newcomers certainly can practice this very simple technology. So with his great support, we started Buddhasya Quantum Foundation. Now in the last 4 years, that in the 4 years, we have perhaps directly about 400,000 people have learned meditation, and directly through our programs, and then indirectly many, because all the time people are introduced to the family, communities, and many Buddha CEOs being in the corporate are teaching automatically in their own way, because this technology is so simple. If we learn today, we can teach it tomorrow. Expertise is required. That's simple, because the intentions are there. So dear friends, what is meditation? How is it happening? And then we wanted to understand a little scientifically. The idea of Buddhasya Quantum Foundation is to bring a scientific element of meditation. It's not a belief system. It's not just a personal practice. It can go into the corporates. It can go into the boardrooms. It can go into the government circles, everywhere. It's a practice that can be done in groups. When I was practicing, and then I was continuing, and every time I met a CXO as part of my business, and I used to run a software company as CEO, every time I met a CXO, and then nobody would want to talk about their meditation practice, because it is like hush. They thought that, okay, it's something spiritual, ritual, this and that. But at the end of it, I always bring it up, and then I say, okay, this is what I'm doing, and then immediately they would open up and say, oh, okay, I have this practice of meditation. Everyone, there are many are doing this. It's just that we're not talking about it, because there is a language may not be necessarily amenable to it. And so then we figured that, when I came across a lot of research on scientific evidence of it, and if you can bring that together in a way that people feel comfortable to talk about it in every corporate aisles, and then take that into our practice there, and then from there to the CSR, to the communities we serve, is great. So towards this, if we understand the mind, there are 2 aspects of it. Meditation is about training the mind in first level. Of course, meditation is to connect with this infinitely powerful quantum field of energy at the second level. But the first one, and we just talk about it and say, if we can shape the mind, then I can shape my future greatly. And there are 2 aspects to the mind. And then these 2 aspects are really come like this. One is a very restless nature of the mind, lots of negative thoughts. And so the restless nature is saying, 3 weeks later I have a deadline that I can't make it, then I start worrying about it from today. What's going to happen? Can I do it? Will I not? A senior employee is sick, is not coming to office, then suddenly worried about it. So many things are there. In a meetings, you want to say something, but you can't say. Will I speak? If I speak, will it be good? Will they take it? If they're not, I don't speak well, will it impact my performance? All worries are there, everything. So there is that aspect of the mind. The second aspect of the mind is limited mind, keeps limiting itself. Based on the past, it makes conclusions. Oh, this person challenging. I cannot do it. Oh, my English is not that great, so I don't think I'll be successful. It's called limitation. Everything is a limitation. That limited mind is saying, I can't do. Like that elephant, even though it had power to free itself from a small, tiny rope, it can never do it because it got trained in the childhood that, I've got something tied here. In childhood, it cannot pull out, but when it grows up, it can easily just wiggle out of it, but it won't do because it tied itself in the mind that I'm tied. All right. So, many, many ways we limit our performance. That is, there is ample amount of research is there. Now, this is mapped into the two aspects of the brain. Our brain, there's a big part of the brain is called neocortex. Now, this is mapped to something called conscious mind, where we have consciously doing activities. This brain is responsible for thinking, learning, rational, all of that. There is a second brain, which is called the midbrain, and then this is called limbic brain, emotional brain. Now, the first brain, which is the big humans have, not everyone, has 50,000 thoughts a day, and then 80 to 95% are negative. That's research. And the second brain, subconscious mind, which is basically operating life out of belief system, right? If I have a belief system about my work culture, my traffic, my financial situation, based on that, all my life events are driven. It's called belief system driven. So 90% of our life is through the belief system, is through our past experience. Now, when you wake up in the morning and by the time you go to your office, we do many things, but how many consciously today you remember that, or when you go to office, how many you consciously remember what you've done today, that day? By the time you wake up, you quickly grab a coffee, you quickly wear a dress, you go and jump and then eat some breakfast and then run to the office. Don't remember most of what has happened because it's all autopilot. It's all happening without even know it. Our brain is conditioned, and so we do many things without even knowing. We go through the life that way. So dear friends, the thing is that what we notice is that when you meditate and then you give knowledge, the knowledge to remove the limitation programs that are there, and then you constantly meditate, then we have a solution that seems to work greatly. That you rest the mind, that is a wandering mind, number one. 50,000 thoughts should come down to less and less. And then second, all the limitations, the belief system that is there, which is saying that I can't be successful. But it has nothing to do with it. People don't speak good English. There are Chinese women in San Francisco, Chinatown. If you go there, you will see them that the most broken English, but the most successful people there. Because nothing to do with English, but it's a belief system that we had one or two times like that. And so then, and people say, I didn't come from a great university, a great degree. I don't think that position I can go. Or the CEO position I can't go. So there's all the limitation based on education. Education, nothing to do with your success. We know this. And so these belief systems have to be broken. And so meditation helps to identify the limitations. Meditation helps to rest the mind that is there. And so when you do these two, dear friends, then there is plenty of transformation that can take place. Now, there is a lot of scientific evidence to this. The scientific evidence is saying that meditation increases the brain neural region significantly. It's called the neocortex region, called neural cells, brain cells, significantly. So science thought that humans grow their brain, or the neural cells grow until the age 21 as they grow. But now with meditation, they start recognizing that when you meditate, your brain cells grow as long as you continue to meditate. It's called the neural cells thicken. There's a new research that is finding. The second thing is that meditation is moving the brain into a very beneficial wave states. By default, we're in stressful wave states right here. Our brain is into that waves. All thoughts are waves. And then meditation is moving people to go into positive thinking, fast learning, relaxation, creativity, insights, deep healing. Many people, why they go into the the heal is because it moves them into a deep healing state, a delta state, where body produces chemicals by itself, right? Stress is removed. And so there are, due to this very scientific understanding, that now you can understand that what it is doing to the brain and body, all right? So people who come to our programs and they're struggling with fears and low confidence and many, many things, but then when they go through the meditation program, they become great counselors. They came in and they say, I'm not able to even hold my mind. I'm not able to, I'm useless to me. And they have so many of kind of societal thoughts. But they come here today, and 6 months later, they become great counselors. We have several examples. What meditation is doing is reducing the stress automatically. A week later, people have sleep challenges, are sleeping. They're saying my sleep improved just about a week later, and we have seen consistently in 3 weeks there are many things. The most important thing is the stress is removed, and then mental wellness is increased significantly. The mental wellness is increased because there is something called feel-good hormones. If you do things and then you get rewarded, if I do a lot of tasks at office and I feel good, that's called, when you feel good, when you're finishing a lot of tasks, you feel good, then a hormone is produced called dopamine. Now, meditation produces a dopamine hormone naturally. So you feel good even if you didn't do the task because it's important. Otherwise, you feel low. And so the meditation is helping people to be naturally become happy no matter what happens on outside. So that is the beginning state of a lot of creation. So the first thing happening, dear friends, is that stress gets released, right? The second thing happening with meditation is how you react to situations. A child falls down. What will the child do? Will the child complain, or the child will just get up and then move forward, right? I mean, so you can't control the circumstance, but you can, exactly, at least how you can control your behavior. That's the whole point. The circumstances happen that way. And so meditation is helping in doing this, that it is giving emotional regulation. Significant emotional intelligence is built, right? Astrophysicist Graham Phillips did an experiment. He didn't want to believe. Can simple practice of meditation reduce my anger, control, all of that? And so he did an experiment. In about 6 weeks of meditation practice, he found himself to be 25% better in the way he expresses emotions. 6 weeks, right? In our programs, we see that when they do 6 weeks of meditation program, we see 86% of the people are constantly telling, I am better with my anger, I'm more calm, I'm more patient, I don't unnecessarily project things, I'm not anxious anymore. All these things are projected with, in 40 days of meditation practice, right? Many day-to-day issues become non-issues when you start practicing meditation, right? And the third thing, dear friends, is the growth. Now, this is what really helped me to hook on to meditation, because I found that this whole thoughts create reality, and then ability to start learning new things without any fear was really helping me in my career. And so the Kaizen, Japanese have something called Kaizen way, is that no, you do the right thing and things will happen. You do the right thing and things will happen. That's the Japanese model, right? Now you go towards doing the right thing, consistently, quality is important. You work on quality. You don't try to hush things up. So meditation helps become very integral. And so it makes you towards doing the right thing. And this is because two things will happen when you practice meditation. There is something called, a brain has a state called neurorigidity and neuroplasticity. It means the ability to rewire itself and learn. And if you are finding stagnation in your life, it's because brain has become rigid, because we are not ready to look at anything new. Rigidity means, if you don't operate a window for a long time, then the window becomes jammed. And so same thing, that our brain gets jammed, we call it neurorigid, when you don't learn, when you don't look at newer things. And there's a natural state. Meditation changes your neurorigid brain to a neuroplastic brain. That means it sort of makes you be curious to learn, curious to do something newer, and then be ready to take risks. Many things it does, right? So with this understanding, and then there is a concept of manifestation science, which is combined together, and it helped me greatly in my company. Sanofi Technologies got acquired by IBM, and we worked for it, but then I attribute a lot of the meditation practices in seeing that we have a great acquisition by a technology firm, which is very one of the top firms in the world. But that's our goal. But meditation helps you to center towards what you want, and then being able to work towards that goal, what we call manifestation science, because the mind has to be focused. Mind has to be unlimited. Then the last thing, dear friends, before we practice some meditation, is that it builds an unconditional service nature. If a workforce is there and then you practice meditation, they fundamentally want to, from inside, because they start experiencing a connection to everybody and say they want to, by default, want to help. This is by default given. Today, many volunteers are here, and then they all want to help. And this conference is happening because of all our team members here in Dubai, and only because of support it is there. And so it is by default changing people to help others, connect with others. It's no longer me. It's what is in it for others. Even employees, we've seen it constantly. My company, software company, we used to have meditation sessions regularly for people. There's only one thing for everyone. How can if somebody is stuck in their coding, somebody's having a problem, people would immediately take time to work and help them before they start helping themselves individually, right? So meditation is doing that. And the last thing is that helping do purpose. A lot of times we're at crossroads. What do I do now? I've got everything in my life, but still something is missing. We all have a unique talent, and the unique talent to be expressed. Meditation helps us to identify the unique talent and then be very purposeful. Dalai Lama says, Mahatma Gandhi says, the purpose is to be in service of, lose yourself in service of others with your unique talent, whatever that you knew. And so meditation helps individuals to chart their own course. It helps you to know where to go next. That purpose is there. Time to time it changes, but intuition will tell you, you should start your business, you should go and then help this non-profit people, or you go and help these children, whatever that is. But that purpose is very, very clearly understood for people to really navigate themselves easily, right? So with that purpose for us and for me personally, when I was in executive positions in IBM, and fine day, I said, okay, now is the time for me to jump into doing full-time service. Buddhasya Quantum Foundation happened 2020 as we were going through various aspects of it. And this was there. The calling was there for me long time, since 2012. It's brewing, but you also need to know what's the right time. And you get that guidance, beautifully get the guidance about what next to do. Everybody goes through the seat. And so that is easy. And so thank you, Karthikeyan sir, again, sir, always been a driving force for us in doing what we are doing, as a mentor for us and constantly guiding. And so dear friends, much research is required, much research is going on in this process. We are working with S. Vyasa University. We started discussions with the AIMS India, JIPMER India, and then NIMHANS. We are working with various aspects to say, how can we bring some scientific research within India too? While global communities like Harvard, Stanford, UCLA, Berkeley, many of them have a lot of research already in this space, right? So what is this meditation? Very, very simple. We'll practice a little bit of this understanding now. Dear friends, we'll go into meditation session. What is a meditation? Meditation is simply ending or reducing the thoughts in the mind. We have many thoughts, and we want to rest the mind. At the simplest level, we want to rest the mind. The second aspect of meditation is that when you rest the mind, then you're slowly connecting into quantum field of energy. The quantum physics is saying that everything is energy, including our body is 99.99% energy. And so matter is very, very tiny. And so in meditation, when you rest the mind, you forget the matter, you become energy, you start experiencing energy.